The summer movie season is upon us, so it's time to talk about what movies we are most excited for. Here are my 10 most anticipated movies of summer 2025. While I'm talking, be sure to join me down below in the comments section. Let me know your most anticipated films of summer 2025. And when we go into this, the summer movie season is not exactly the same as the season. The summer movie season kicks off usually the first Friday of May when a gigantic tentpole film drops. This year it's Thunderbolts, and it goes until around mid-August when a final couple of blockbusters come out and then kids go back to school and things slow down. That's what I am looking at for this video, not the summer season, which is slightly different. As we go into this, there is a companion video over on Patreon with 10 more movies that I am excited for this summer. So if there's a movie that I'm missing from this list that you're like, I thought you were really excited for this one, probably am. Probably number 11 on that video over there. Over on Patreon, if you join at any level, you gain access to literally hundreds of edited videos, hundreds of exclusive live streams. Each week, I have a Q&A that normally goes for about 2 hours long. I have a box office show where I break down the weekly box office, and I have one that I'm starting off called Reaction Time. You gain access to all of that if you join for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card, and at the top tier, you can do a 30-minute video chat with me and talk movies way too much with me. If you want that companion video, you can learn more at the link down below in the description. And let's get started. Kicking things off with our top 10, we have Weapons. This is the new film from the director of Barbarian, and it is on this list entirely based off of borrowed trust. That he did something really exciting that was out of the blue, that caught everyone off guard. Whether you loved it or you hated it, you had an opinion about it, and this is his next film. So I'm just excited to see it. I know very little bit about it. They put out a teaser last week, and it's a true teaser. Like a person running down the street. Like, it doesn't tell you much of anything about the plot. Like, I don't know what this movie is. I don't know what Weapons means. So this is a great example of there's a movie that I want to see, and I kind of want to know as little as possible. Like, going into Barbarians knowing very little about it was the best way to see it. It was like, what am I watching? And that's what I want for Weapons as well. I don't know if it'll live up to Barbarians. I don't know how I'll feel about all of it, any of that stuff. But I love the fact that there's a movie I'm excited about that I know almost nothing about it. 9, Predator Killer of Killers. The first of 2 different Predator movies we are getting this year. This one is an anthology animated film that will be a streaming exclusive. And what I like about this film, since Predators came out 15 years ago, and there was this sequence in the movie where a guy with a samurai sword squares off against a predator. And as soon as that happened, a bunch of us went, hey, wait a minute. What if that was a thing? And then they kind of played that out with Prey in a very different sense. But the idea of what if the Predators were facing off against all of the best killers across cultures, across human history. And so then Prey does it with Native Americans. And then you do an anthology film that says, let's go Vikings, let's go for World War II pilots, let's do that samurai one that people have been talking about. That sounds awesome to me. Adding to that, the animation style, everything looks like a painting brought to life. There's so much cool animation recently, and this is just another example of it. Like, I would have assumed this would have been like, whenever they do these anthology films, they're almost always anime for some reason, which I'm not a big anime person. That's both in terms of just real anime or just the animation style when doing it with these anthologies is just not what I'm really into. And this one is not that. It feels like paintings come to life, and it just looks really cool. It's very violent, and I love the idea of Predators facing off the killer of killers across cultures, across time. 8, Karate Kid Legends. They are merging together the main continuity of the Karate Kid franchise with the Jackie Chan remake from 15 years ago, and Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan will be teaming up to train up our new Karate Kid. Now, I've said this 1,000 times before on my channel, but if you're not aware, my very first movie webpage back in the 90s was a Jackie Chan fan page. I've got huge ties to Jackie Chan, even in terms of what I do for a living now. And Karate Kid is one of my favorite movies of all time. And of course, I've loved Cobra Kai over the last, 7 years. So merging it together, there's so much in there that I love. I wish I could have it a little bit higher up on the list, but I'm a little bit nervous that they are just doing the same plot again. Kid moves to a new place, gets bullied, needs martial arts training. The trailer sells as that with very minor switches to it. This time, he's got 2 mentors instead of 1. This time, he knows Kung Fu, but now he's learning karate. There's implications of the past with his brother and some other things tying into it, but like once again, a bully is mad over a girl, and so we have a fight leading up to a tournament. That's the same plot we kind of keep doing over and over again. So I hope there's a little bit more to it, and I hope what's going on here is that they're selling us on the familiar and the world colliding, but they're holding back on all the stuff that really is the unexpected twists and turns in the story. Next up, Fountain of Youth. This is a new Guy Ritchie film starring John Krasinski and Natalie Portman, and it's like a globe-trotting adventure looking for artifacts, like a modern-day version of Indiana Jones of sorts, except from Guy Ritchie. Every single thing that I just told to you makes this sound like a movie that is like tailor-made just for me. I personally think that Guy Ritchie has been on a hot streak for like 6 years now. Not that they're like the best movies that he's ever done. It's not exactly that. But for me and my personal tastes, he keeps making movies that are very much on my wavelength. Movies that very much are like, yeah, that's a movie I want to see. Yeah, that's a movie I want to see. And switching around genres. It's not like he keeps doing the same movie. Wrath of Man is very different from Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which is very different from Fountain of Youth. They're very different films, but they're all movies that, and The Covenant. Tonally, all of these very different, plot very different. All of them are movies that I go, yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, that's a cool cast. Yeah, that's my sort of thing. And so, do I think that this will be one of the best movies of the year? Probably not. Do I think it's a movie I will really enjoy and be like, yeah, that's my kind of thing? Absolutely. Guy Ritchie is just like, loved Guy Ritchie when Snatch came out. He lost me for about 15 years. He has absolutely won me back. And then when you throw John Krasinski in there and Natalie Portman, it's like, yeah, that's a movie made for me. Because I showed my wife the trailer and she goes, sold, can we watch it now? Like, no, we got to wait till it comes out. But we're going to watch it then. 28 years later. This is the latest film from Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland. And obviously it is a continuation of the 28 Later franchise. I've seen 28 Days Later many, many times. I've actually never seen 28 Weeks Later. It just kind of came out at a period of my life where I wasn't able to go see as many movies. My wife, she's actually seen 28 Days Later many times too. She might have seen it more times than I have. She doesn't do zombie movies at all, but it just kind of came out in a phase where she's going to movies with her friends and stuff. So she's seen it a lot. It was not interested at all in 28 Weeks Later. But, so I'm just excited to like re-explore the first one, finally see 28 Weeks Later, and the trailers for it just look really good. And like the second trailer they put out, it's like, gets back to the art of making a trailer, where the trailer itself seems like its own work of art. That it has its own distinct style, statement that it's making, in the way the cuts are done, the tension that it builds, the way it crescendos. It doesn't play like a 2-minute synopsis of the movie minus the last 15 minutes. It plays like we are creating something out of this movie to truly tease an atmosphere and an intensity, but not to tell you the story in short form. So I thought it looks like a great zombie movie. The trailers themselves have been crafted really nicely. And the fact that after all these years and all the acclaim and prestige that Danny Boyle and Alex Garland have garnered since they made 28 Days Later, and they want to return back to do another zombie movie, That in and of itself has me very excited. 5, The Naked Gun. This is a film that ever since there started being murmurs of them doing a remake of The Naked Gun, people have been like, don't do it, don't touch it. Leslie Nielsen is a legend, don't touch it. And then there have been a number of us that have been like, but if they get Liam Neeson to do this, this could be something really special. Like, you don't understand, Liam Neeson's really funny. If they get Liam Neeson, I'm on board. Then and in particular, like if you get someone that actually can still get away with edgy comedy, I'm on board with it. So it's produced by Seth MacFarlane. They go, be even better if he was writing and directing it, but him as one of the producers guiding this thing sounds awesome. Liam Neeson is starring in it, basically making fun of his entire career for the last 20 years. And if you don't realize this, his deadpan comedy is fantastic because he can deliver absurd, silly lines with the same intensity that he delivers the Taken monologue. He's this really imposing guy with a great gravelly voice, and it's really funny when he does deadpan comedy. Check out his segment from, was it Life is Short, the Ricky Gervais, Warwick Davis segment that he did on improvisational comedy. Hilarious. His little segment in Ted 2 about tricks. Fantastic. And then you can just watch the trailer for this movie and you see this 70-year-old man that starred in Schindler's List doing Naked Gun comedy and wearing a schoolgirl outfit. It's just funny. And the OJ joke at the end of it, amazing, amazing joke. And I hope that this can kind of create a resurgence of comedy. Like maybe we need a franchise movie to kind of open the door for more comedy, because like it hasn't been a great decade for comedy. Like there have been smaller things that have been really good, but we haven't had a lot of big, straightforward comedies. Maybe this can make it. Oh yeah, and it's from the directors of Chippendale Rescue Rangers from a few years back, which was so much better than it should have been. And so the producer, the star, the director, the trailer, all of it tells me I should be very excited for this. Number 4, Nobody 2. Now, I absolutely loved the first Nobody. It's another franchise from the writer, the creator of John Wick, except this time with Bob Odenkirk as our lead guy. And it has the same sort of like mysterious world, same sort of like you're underestimating this guy and he fires back. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with this movie. They haven't put out a trailer yet, but they showed something at CinemaCon that apparently it's a road trip movie and the trailer's cut to the Holiday Road, the theme song from the Vacation movies. Just right there, the idea of we're doing Nobody like Vacation sounds really great to me. Real quick before I give you my top 4, remember there is a companion video to this with 10 more of my most anticipated films of the summer. If there's like a big gigantic movie that you're like surprised wasn't in this video, it's probably in that video. Or there's a few movies that I've already seen, so I can't say they're my most anticipated because I've already seen them. So Thunderbolts, the movie that in my mind kicks off this summer movie season, I've already seen it. It would have been on this list ahead of Fantastic Four, which I guess we'll let you know we're about to head with this list. But I was more excited for Thunderbolts than I was for Fantastic Four. And for me, it lived up to the excitement. I really enjoyed it. I can only say my reaction to it, so I can't expand beyond that because the embargo lifts tomorrow. You'll see my review for it tomorrow. Thunderbolts, this is, one of my favorite MCU films of the last 5 years. Also, Clown in a Cornfield. I saw this at South by Southwest at its premiere. Great little clown slasher film that it starts off very by the numbers, and then like 40% into it, a thing happens and you're like, oh, that's the hook. That's the movie right there. Like, and it like, you'll think like, it's not all that interesting. And then about 40% of the way you realize what the movie actually is and where they're going with it. Check it out. Together, this is a body horror film with real life married couple, Alison Brie and Dave Franco. And like, it's about bodies trying to merge together and it's a metaphor for broken relationships and working through differences with all sorts of nasty imagery, a nice earned sense of humor. So I'm excited to check that one out. Or excuse me, I've already seen it. It's like really effective. Like everybody that saw it was one of the movies everyone was talking about, and there's plenty of like just gross out, all sorts of cool stuff in it. Final one on here, Shelby Oaks. This is Chris Stockman's movie. I'm not sure if it's actually releasing this summer or not. It's unclear on it whether it has a release date. It might be coming out this summer, but it's a film that he shot several years back, and it's being distributed by Neon. Mike Flanagan is helping executive produce it, and so I'm just curious. Like, I know Chris Stuckman, you got to make a movie, and he's in this space, and he emerged to actual filmmaker working with the people that inspired him to make a movie. I'm rooting for it. I hope it's great. I hope it leads to amazing things for him. In third, Fantastic Four: First Steps. And we've now gotten a couple of trailers for this movie. And as someone that's been critical of the MCU over the last several years for, certain feeling directed by committee and things being a little bit homogenous and losing a distinct directorial flair, this movie just kind of oozes its own distinct style. From the very opening shots of it, it has its own distinct aesthetics. They said it was going to be this retro future alternative 1960s. And that's exactly what you see in the design of every single thing you look at, to the color palette, the way the color grading is done. All of it has its own unique style and look to it. And then adding to that, it's another one where they announced it 6 years ago, and they really took their time on this one. As I've been critical of a number of the scripts feeling microwaved, they try to fix it in post. With this film, it seemed like they just we want to make sure we have the right director, the right script, the right everything, because it's the Fantastic Four. The track record on Fantastic Four movies is not great. So let's really get it right and do something special. And I think you start to feel that with this movie, of the heart, the exploration of family, and trying to do something that really feels like its own movie and not just the next episode of the MCU. So very excited for this one. There's a few things I'm like, all right, how do you actually do Galactus? How do you have a guy that big and have Stretchy Guy do anything against him? Like, how do you battle that? I'm not quite sure how that works. I'll find out in just a few months. But this is another one that it looks like having seen Thunderbolts, since that was a win, I think it feels like the MCU is catching their footing again. Our runner-up, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. And I have been a fan of the Mission Impossible movies since the first one came out almost 30 years ago. And with time, this has become the most consistent action spy franchise of the last 30 years, that they keep delivering awesome movies where Tom Cruise does every single thing that he can to deliver spectacular action that's actually cinematic and stands out because it's actual stunt work, that they spend extraordinarily large amounts of time trying to do these insane things. And Tom Cruise actually does it. And with this movie, it feels like we are approaching, as the title says, the finale here of Ethan Hunt's 30-year impossible mission that he's been on. And pulling together plot lines, bringing back characters, and trying to deliver more and more just fantastic action and stunt work. So based on their track record, based off my excitement, based off the last movie, based on the trailers, of course, this is one of my most anticipated. But coming in at number one, Superman. James Gunn's latest film and the movie that truly, properly kicks off the DCU. Now, Creature Commandos did the television kickoff to it, but of course that's not the big event, and that was a much more niche show. This is the film that truly is meant to show us James Gunn's DCU. And as someone that absolutely loves Superman, that is a massive fan of Guardians of the Galaxy and much of James Gunn's work, I'm so excited to see what he's going to do, and really hoping that he can deliver a mainstream version of Superman that gets audience and critical praise. That we haven't really had a widely accepted Superman movie in over 40 years. Like, there are defenders of Superman Returns. There's, of course, a super loyal fan base of Man of Steel, but Man of Steel was a polarizing film. as much as there's people that adore that film, there's people that are like, Zack Snyder's the wrong guy to do Superman. And hopefully, James Gunn can work his magic on Superman. Keep in mind, James Gunn took the Guardians of the Galaxy, D-list comic book characters that no normies knew who they were. They're exclusively known by comic nerds. And he made them these beloved, incredibly mainstream characters, despite it being a talking raccoon, a tree that just says, I am Groot, guy that thinks that everything is too literal. He launched, let's do it with the 5th build person on Parks and Rec. The fat guy, let's make jokes about the fat guy on Parks and Rec. Let's make him our action hero, and that turns into Chris Pratt. That's what he did with the Guardians of the Galaxy, using the D-list guys. What can James Gunn do? Is James Gunn, his trick is taking the weirdos and making them mainstream? Like, is that what he does? Or is he able to work with the A-team, the A-list? Does the trick work there? Is Superman too mainstream, or does he need weirdos to work his magic? I don't know, but I love Superman. I love James Gunn, and I'm so wanting the DCU to have the consistent success that the DCEU was never able to have. So for me, put all those pieces together, and just even with the trailers, the first one I was like, all right, I'm not quite sure, I'm not there yet. And then there's this shot of Superman saving this girl in slow-mo from an explosion. I was like, there it is, there's Superman. Man, I cannot wait to check out this movie. So it comes in at number 1. Remember, there's a companion video to this over on Patreon with 10 more of my most anticipated movies of the summer. Join for as little as $2 per month, $21 per year. You can gain access to that video as well as hundreds of others. The link is down below in the description. And keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye.